Phyllis, thank you so much. Welcome to Unity of Bloomington. It is so great to see you all here. Good morning. Thank you very much for showing up and being in community today. We are a spiritual growth community for truth seekers. Here, we offer practical spiritual teachings based on the life of Christ and other traditions that empower abundant and meaningful living. So this morning, you're going to notice some changes to our service, so please be open and curious as we celebrate together today. So the first change you're going to notice is we are going to ask you to center yourselves in your seats. Get into the centering. I want you to breathe. Right? Recognize you are a part of a community. You are here together, and there is a vibration that goes with that. We're going to ask you to sit during the welcome song. Okay, we want you to feel into the vibration of the music, hear the lyrics that you're going to be singing, and be a part of this community. All right, Phyllis? Thank you. So go ahead and take some more deep breaths. Continue centering yourself in your chair. A transitional minister is a type of ministry dedicated to helping faith communities like ours in the in-between times between ministerial leadership. Many faith traditions use this process. The purpose of this special training is to help communities like ours use this important time to take a hard look at ourselves, to dig into and heal the issues that may be affecting our community. Unresolved issues may prevent our expansion and growth for our community. Typical community issues include unhealed past grievances or misalignment in identity, values, and purpose. So, by doing this transitional work now, we can ready ourselves for our new settled or called minister for our future. So today, I would like to introduce our transitional minister, Reverend Nat Carter. Reverend Nat reports his personal life mission is to deepen connections with God, self, others, and to heal lives and live dreams. His 9-year-long focus in transitional ministry has been to help communities reveal their potential for vitality and create growth possibilities for the future. He has served 5 communities in transition and most recently spent 2 years as senior minister at Unity Church of Greater Rochester, New York. Reverend Nat respects the unity focus with the teachings of divinity within, meditation, and the power of thought. He began his interest in spirituality early in life through yoga. He personally enjoys finding commonalities in spiritual traditions, doing yoga, centering prayer, mindfulness practices, studying brain science, and being a part of book study groups. In the last 30 years, he has done a great deal of work with support groups, relationship counseling, men's groups, personal growth, and therapy. He enjoys pets, gardening, golf, jazz, travel, biking, possibly bass playing, and Sunday services. So Reverend Nat has his home base in Loveland, Colorado. So I would like for you to please welcome our transitional minister, Reverend Nat Carter.
Wow, it's great to be here. I've come a long way to be here. I mean, and not just driving for 2 full days. You've probably come a long way to be here as well. We've gone through a lot of things as individuals. Unity of Bloomington's going through some things right now. There's a lot of room here. This is a wonderful, open, warm, welcoming space. Bring in whatever's going on in your life. Don't leave it out in the car, or don't leave it at home. This place, with the presence and power of infinite love and wisdom, is the perfect place to bring questions, issues, problems, to bring celebrations. What's going on with you? Individually, in your family, in your home, in your community. What's going on in Unity of Bloomington? Let's bring it all into this sacred space, because this is a place where transformation and growth and wonderful new possibilities can emerge. One of the things that I'm bringing in here today is celebration of my son's 33rd birthday today. I thought I'd be with him today in Colorado, but I was surprised by the way things unfolded that brought me here at this time, at this place. It's interesting. So we come together at Unity of Bloomington, bringing with us who we are, open and receptive to a presence and power of transformative goodness. And as we come together here, we're joining together with churches everywhere. Because there's only one presence and one power. It expresses in a multitude of ways, and people are opening their minds and their hearts to that one presence and power in a multitude of ways. And so we join, in some sense, whenever you've come in here, you have stepped into every church in town. But you've also stepped into mosques and temples and stupas and sacred circles. We step into an openness and receptivity to infinite love and wisdom, no matter the name, no matter the tradition. So, welcome. Welcome to that. We've come into this room. We've come into this consciousness of one presence and one power. Now, we've been saying it, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Right? Or God, the good, omniscient. of churches are saying it like this now. They're saying a more heart-centered version about God. Absolute goodness is a name for unconditional love, universal peace, abundant life, absolute goodness, a flow of energy that establishes itself as absolute goodness. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. God, absolute goodness. Affirm this with me.
There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, absolute goodness.
There's only God. There is only oneness. There is only love. Let's affirm that in song. I need a chair. Give me this stool.
There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love.
And that love flows. That love is an energy that works all things together for good. There's a direction in which love moves. Actually, there are two directions in which love moves, kind of like our breath. There's a movement that pulls everything in. It's like our coming into this building. That's the open heart of the divine. There's an inclusive, welcoming, unconditional connection that draws everything together. We might call that mother love. Sometimes in unity, we say Father, Mother, God. Well, Mother God has open arms, the everlasting arms, is unconditionally accepting and receiving us, receiving everything. Everything. Things that we don't want to look at. Things that seem to be aberrations. Things that are evil. Nothing is outside the all-embracing scope of divine mother love. It's like our inhalation. But take a breath. Hold it. Take another breath. No, you got to exhale first, don't you? Yeah, okay. So divine love moves out as well as moving in. Divine love is a creative energy that moves out and changes things, rearranges things, works all things together for good. That's the creator God, Father God. The energy moves in, holds everything. It's God's will. Absolute embrace. It moves out, creates goodness. Divine will, God's will. We can align with that divine will. We have to make choices. There is guidance available. There is wisdom available because a direction is set for the way things are unfolding to be. And we can perceive that. That's called praying for guidance or connecting with wisdom. And we all have choices to make, decisions we have to make. Today's daily word is about wisdom. It's about guidance. The first sentence is interesting. When I'm pondering a perplexing question, I have to make an important choice. Pondering perplexing questions. Can you relate to that in your own life? As a community, Unity of Bloomington, we'll be pondering some perplexing questions. We'll have opportunities to seek guidance, to connect with wisdom. So, that wisdom I like to have as a focus in the heart. There's lots of information available. You know, I have a huge tool bag that I've brought with me. Files of workshops and things. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what it is what you need. But I know what I want to start with, and that's with the heart, that we all spend time in the heart of God, that we come in and we see this room as a place where we're stepping into the divine energy of love. Love that holds everything and can create anything. Start with the heart is what I'm talking about today. And starting with a connecting with God, connecting with the power of love. And in that connection, we will be prepared for anything. So, how do we decide? People have lots of opinions. We can decide based on what we did in the past, things that worked or things that didn't work. We can make some decisions based on the circumstances, on our habits. That's all out there. In the beginning, God, first words of the Bible. In the beginning of anything, we turn to the source of inspiration. We turn to the source of love. We turn to a presence of possibility. We turn to the heart. In the beginning. So, we use divine wisdom to find our way. Wisdom. Wisdom is a combination of thinking and being, of doing and being. Wisdom is a mind-heart connection. We start with the heart and to let our mind focus the possibilities that come up in the heart. I use divine wisdom to find my way. What's your way? We will use divine wisdom to find our way as a spiritual community. What's the way that you're looking at this week or today or this holiday season? How are you going to use the energy of the holiday season? How are you going to use the energy of what the Native Americans would call the spirit of the North? The spirit of quietness and turning within. How are you going to use that energy to find your way? Use divine wisdom. It's a choice. It's a decision that you make. It's a decision to be centered in love. Love is the decision.
Love is my decision, up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision, no one else can tell me to start. And now I decide to change my mind. God will show me love. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision, no one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision, no one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision, no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Nice. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. True. It's up to us. We have to do something. Okay, so title of my talk, Begin with the Heart. Maybe I should have said start with the heart, because that's a little snappier. But anyway, I want to begin with a story. Once upon a time, notice what that did for you. Once upon a time, something happens when we hear that. We become maybe more childlike, maybe a little bit more open. Once upon a time, there was a community of people that were having some difficulty. They were held back. They weren't growing. And a leader emerged, an impulse emerged within that community that eventually came to the point that said, we have to move. We have to go. It's time to grow. That spiritual leader was Moses. That community was the children of Israel, and they departed on the Exodus. They had a serious ending in that they left Egypt. A lot of people didn't want to leave, but they came along with the community. Once they got out, in the middle of things, in the in-between time that Jonah mentioned, some of them wanted to go back. Couldn't go back because the Red Sea had closed and the army was on the other side waiting for them. You know that story. So, that's a story about us. That's a story about Unity of Bloomington. That's a story about each one of us. That we have had endings in our lives. And the endings had put us in a place that was uncomfortable, that was confusing, that was unclear. And we didn't get to the new beginnings quickly enough. We were stuck in the wilderness. Now, in this story, the people, this community, was in transition for 40 years. It's not going to take that long here. Okay? But it'll take long enough. That's what 40 means. It takes some time to get some completion. And the completion, the ending of this in-between time, the new beginning, may be something that's surprising. People kept asking Moses, what's the promised land look like? And he'll say, well, we'll see soon enough. When are we going to get there? Well, at the right time. Well, what do we do about not having anything to eat? What do we do about all these people having these different ideas, running off in all these directions and doing whatever they want? There was all sorts of confusion, missteps, mistakes. Moses had to come up with something. The spiritual leadership, the impulse of infinite love and wisdom called him to a mountaintop, called him to come up higher. Couldn't stay at that level. So, what's the spiritual leader within you? What's that impulse? What does Moses represent within you? There's an element of your consciousness that is seeking to lead you, to connect with infinite love and wisdom and come down with spiritual principles, truth, statements of truth, practices of truth. It's available. Wisdom. It's guidance that's available. So things feel like they're falling apart? Maybe. Things feel like they've been broken open? Some poets have said being broken open creates space for the light to come in. The mystic Muslim Rumi said that. The Canadian poet and the songwriter forgetting here. The light comes in through the broken places. Sometimes, if we think we have it all together, if we have and that everything's working just fine, it feels good, but we may not be growing. That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean we have to seek out chaos. Chaos is present. It'll seek us out. It happens often enough that there's difficulties that come up, and that's an opportunity to connect with the spiritual leader, to let the light in. Okay, so with Moses, he had to go to the mountaintop, and he came back with answers. He came back with guidance about what to eat and how to organize things and manage where they are, having spiritual principles to follow. In the midst of change, in the in-between time, in all times, but particularly in the after a loss and before something new, you do what Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said, you go to headquarters. We go to headquarters first. Charles Fillmore had a minister that he worked with that was his minister. His name was Ernest Wilson. He was one of the first really successful, prominent Unity ministers. He was asked one time by a Christian scientist, why do you people go to doctors? Don't you believe that you go to God first to be healed, that God will heal you? You see, Unity kind of grew out of Christian Science. Father, Mother, God was a term that the Christian used in the Christian Science church. Ernest Wilson answered her by saying, yes, we believe God heals. We go to God first. Then we go to man. Then we go to the world as God directs us. There's two flows. There's a flow inward and a flow outward. Go to God first. And then take action. Take a step. Do what that inspiration directs us to do. Moses went up on the mountain, came back with directions. That was in the Hebrew Testament. That's a story that's a few thousand years old. You know, the Christian Testament evolved out of that. Spiritual awareness evolves and changes and grows. We're not going to go up onto the mountain today. We're going to go down into the depths today. We're going to bring the mind into the heart. You've heard that before. That this journey, this 18-inch journey from the head to the heart, from thinking to being. We've come into this heart that is this building that is Unity of Bloomington. We've come into the heart to find our way. We'll see what's going to happen there. But we start with the heart. There's this ancient prayer called the prayer of the heart, an ancient tradition from the Eastern Orthodox Church. It goes back to the desert mothers and fathers, to the mystics that were out in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th century that were just gave up everything to connect with the divine, living out in the desert. And one of the teachings, bring your mind into your heart and be with God, became really central to the mystical tradition within Eastern Orthodoxy. Put your mind in your heart and be with God. And then get up and do something. Take action. You don't stay like that. So, mind in the heart and be with God. That's going to be our basis for meditation today. So I'm going to teach you this basic meditation practice. Bring your mind into your heart. So I want to tell you about it first, so keep your eyes open. Now we're going to go back. We're not ready for that yet. Okay, I'll stay with this for a minute. How do you bring your mind into your heart? We follow the breath. So I'm going to invite you to notice the sensation of your breath in your nostrils, in your throat, in your neck, in your chest, in your respiratory system. I want you to notice that there's an opening when you inhale. There's a relaxing and releasing when you exhale. We're going to notice that sensation and imagine that in noticing the sensation, that as we notice, as we move into awareness of our breath in our lungs, that there's an openness, an expansion, and there's a releasing. It's horizontal and it's also vertical. When you inhale, there's this movement. And so when our mind, we follow the breath down into the center of our respiratory system, and there's the heart there in the middle of the breath, and centered in the expansion and release of the breath. So we're going to spend some time in that center, in the heart. We're going to focus first on receiving, bringing it all in. Have a moment of silence, and then releasing, sending it out. Enter the silence and affirm the truth. That's what Charles Fillmore answered one time whenever he was asked, "What do you people do in unity?" And he said, "We enter the silence and we affirm the truth." So we're going to do that today. And we're going to follow the heart, follow the breath into the silence of the heart. So you ready? We're going to move out of thinking. Open the heart with song to begin with. Okay? My heart is open.
I am
Allow your eyes to close. And let your breath move smoothly. Let it move on its own. And just notice it. It has a rhythm that it follows, receiving and releasing. Now notice the sensation of it. Maybe in your nostrils or in the back of your throat. Feel the movement of your breath in the sensation of your body. Don't manipulate it. Feel it. Now move your perception of your breath down into your throat. Feel the breath with imagination, moving up and down your neck, from your nostrils to your neck, and from your neck out to the nostrils. Feel that breath. Move your perception now to the top of your chest, to the top of your lungs. And as you inhale, feel the breath moving down through the neck to the top of your chest. And from there, back up and out. Delicious, smooth, orderly. Now be aware of the expansion of your lungs with the inhalation. Move your awareness down into your chest. There's more space as you inhale, and there's a releasing and a relaxing as you exhale. Feel that movement in your chest. Opening and releasing. And notice now perhaps that as you inhale, the breath goes deep down through your diaphragm to deep down to your solar plexus. That there's a vertical movement along with the horizontal movement of inhalation and relaxation, of a spaciousness and openness. A receptivity that is the realm of the heart. There in the center of your breathing is the heart center, a chakra of love, surrounded by the breath. An energy that says, welcome, come in, bring it all in. Bring in everything, everybody, into the heart. Notice your receptivity with each inhalation. Settling into the heart, into the center of connectedness. Settle into that center. Settle into that warm, receptive energy of love. Allow yourself to just be there in the silence, in the quietness of pure being. Settle into that peace. The peace of love within you. Flows like your breath. It flows in and flows out. So now notice your exhalation moving on its own. And with every exhalation, give it something to say. Let it say, life. Life. It's Father God declaring, creating, let there be life. Mother God receives, Father God creates. Let the breath now declare light. Light. Let there be ideas. The energy of life, the light of creative ideas and new possibilities. Light and life. Light and life. Deepen your breathing a bit and declare, I am one with love. 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 One with love. One with the heart of the Father. One with the heart of the Mother. One with love, one with God. We're going to bring this time of inner quiet to a close with a song. One with the heart. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love.
Father,
Let me remember. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I use divine wisdom to guide my way. I use divine wisdom to guide my way. Declare that with me. I use divine wisdom to guide my way. And we do that as a community. We use divine wisdom to guide our way. Declare that with me. We use divine wisdom to guide our way. And so it is. So it is. Amen. Amen. Oh, that was good. I love it. Oh, thank you. That felt good. Okay.
That we look to our spiritual practice of abundance. We're grateful to have our Unity Bloomington Spiritual Growth Center because of the many ways that this community supports us on our own paths. And in keeping with our beliefs, we embrace our abundance with mind, heart, words, and action. Will the greeters please come forward? So our abundance affirmation is unique to Unity of Bloomington. It originated through me during a time of deep prayer, and I brought it to the board at that time, and they embraced the intention statement for our community in their board meetings. And then eventually it found its way out into our service for our community to have. So at Unity, we do not use affirmation and denials to avoid what is real. We acknowledge our reality and use affirmation to intentionally choose to challenge ourselves to see differently. Everything that comes up for us in our reality is for us. And as we live more aware, we note our triggers, set our intention with an affirmation, and also do our depth work to clear any negative core beliefs of fear and scarcity that keeps us from our automatic goodness. So the I am statement is an ancient creation practice attributed to Abraham. So I want you to really claim this for yourself, all right? And let's say together our affirmation. I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe. God is the source of my supply. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience.
My mind is open to changing the world. Let it begin, let change begin with me. My heart embraces a world wrapped in peace. Let it begin, let peace begin with me. I am an agent of change, a sweet dove of peace. I am love, I am love, I am love, I am love. I am an agent of change, a sweet dove of peace. I am love, unfolding. My eyes envision a world aglow in love. Let it begin, let love begin with me. We move together toward all is just. Let it begin, let justice begin with us. We are agents of change, sweet doves of peace. We are love, we are love, we are love, we are love. We are agents of change, sweet doves of peace. We are love. Sweet doves of peace, we are love, we are love, we are love, we are love, we are agents of change. Sweet doves of peace, we are love unfolding. We are love unfolding.
Thank you. So we ask the greeters to please come forward. And we're going to bless the offerings with these words. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you very much. So now I have a few announcements. We want to welcome all, including the people who have joined us online today. And we want to also welcome newcomers. We do have an information packet. We're happy to give that to you. We want to also thank you to everyone who intended and who physically showed up to help Reverend Nat Carter get into his home. Okay. And the choir would always love new members. If you love to sing and you love the vibration of music, please see Phyllis and show up. We would love to have you.